this was like, what was it? This came out yesterday, I believe. Jev is the final member of FaZe. He has yet to even acknowledge the situation. In typical Jev fashion, the guy literally does not give a flying fuck usually 90% of the time what's going on with FaZe. But with his recent video and everything coming out, it appears like he has changed his name to just Jev here. So I think he's done too. And before we dive into this reaction video of all these FaZe members and stuff like that, be sure to obviously, give, I'm gonna leave all the links to the originals below, and be sure to go subscribe to them and drop a like. We got 3 videos I kind of wanted to react to here. You guys know Jev's the GOAT. I'm subscribed to him. I already liked the video. Be sure to like It's Janky. Janky's the first guy on the scene to release a video like this. And then the COD Center just posted a little short clip on Nadeshot talking to Ninja about the whole situation. So before we dive in, though, from what I've heard about the whole FaZe situation, is that the company that runs FaZe was trying to take 20% of all the streamers a part of FaZe revenue, which I think is cruel. I think is fucked up. And I don't blame them for leaving in regards to that information. So, with that being said, that is all I've heard about it. I think they've all signed like NDAs and non-disclosure agreements on why they're leaving FaZe, or they can't say right away why they're leaving FaZe. But I know Rug recently left too. FaZe has always been a very close to my heart clan. Don't get me wrong, I kind of stopped following them after they kind of dropped Call of Duty. I remember playing Black Ops 2 as a kid and always seeing everyone have FaZe in their gamer tag and watching FaZe adapt and watching FaZe Rug do his haunted house shit. They were all goats. I love Adapt. I remember seeing Adapt hit a trick shot and accidentally smacking his fucking girlfriend, even though I think it was a skit, but he slaps his girlfriend when he hits his trick shot out of the standoff window. They hold a close place to my heart. And to see them all, disband and leave, it's sad and obviously an end of an era. I think the whole clan thing is behind us now, probably. Call of Duty, especially going in a different direction now. Call of Duty's changed and its community's changed with it. So that's all I really have to say about that. If you guys enjoyed the reaction video, please leave a like and subscribe. And let's dive into these short videos here. First off, we're going to start with a short little 2-minute, 10-second clip of Nadeshot explains to Ninja why the FaZe guys leaving. You guys don't know who Nadeshot is? Nadeshot Bang Bang? I remember him from, I think I really remember him from Call of Duty Ghost is what I remember him. He was really good at Call of Duty Ghost back in the day. I never caught on to him with the MW2 or Black Ops scene, but I remember seeing him a lot during Call of Duty Ghost. So Nadeshot's cool. Besides him, I'm not going to say that actually. Let's go.
Are you going to sign all the FaZe guys, dude?
Wait, what happened to FaZe? Why is everyone making FaZe jokes?
So he's asking Nadeshot here if he's going to sign all the FaZe guys, because if you guys don't know, Nadeshot, I think, is the leader of a clan called 100 Thieves, I'm pretty sure. Or he's at least the owner or something like that. So one of his friends here jokingly asks, are you going to sign all the FaZe guys that just left?
They all left.
Like everyone left?
Yeah, that whole group, like all the IRL guys. And,
I guess the majority owners now were trying to take 20% of their like streaming revenue or something.
That's insane, by the way.
Yeah, I mean, tricky situation, but 20% of streaming revenue is a problem.
That's
for
fucked
sure.
up. That's fucked up.
The problem is like nobody wins in that scenario because the FaZe guys think that they have all the leverage, which they do. And then the ownership, they were like, well, we own this fucking thing. We're not monetizing it. We're not making money from this. So how can we figure that out?
100%. You're absolutely right. I think
they're just in a standoff that nobody can win.
It begs the question, too, like, how can you prove that FaZe is the reason that they're that popular, right, as well? Like, how much of the actual, brand of FaZe is that the reason that their success is from?
I wouldn't say so. I don't think FaZe is the reason. I think back then, maybe a lot of FaZe members were popular because they were part of FaZe. But I know for a fact, maybe they got their start because of it. But I know like Stable Ronaldo, maybe FaZe Adapt. But I know Stable Ronaldo. Everyone knows Stable Ronaldo because he's a streamer. But I never even processed the fact he was a part of FaZe. So I think some of them, yeah. Most of them, no.
Yeah, it's tough. I talked about it at the beginning. It's like when all those guys came together, I certainly believe that Banks and the situation of him finding everybody, bringing everybody together, it helped. Like, it boosted things for sure.
For sure.
And you'll never know if those guys, if they were independent of one another, I'm sure they would have been very successful and would have continued to grow.
Without it, like an off-brand house where they just play together without being FaZe guys, right? Is that what
Yeah. Well, no, I guess my question is, like, one, how influential was Ricky and FaZe to actually selecting those individuals and bringing them together?
Yeah.
I don't know who Ricky is. Again, I kind of stopped following FaZe after a while because of the whole them switching to more like content creation rather than like Call of Duty. If you guys in the comments can tell me who Ricky is, would be much appreciated.
So I definitely think that helped and gave them a push that they wouldn't have had previously. But I think those guys still would have been successful.
20%.
For sure.
20%
For sure.
revenue because of that, though? Like, that's where you...
Yeah.
These guys are wolfpacking the sleeper, by the way, right in front of us.
Yep.
I think it's just like an unwinnable situation for everybody involved.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just overall, at the end of the day, it's literally just like, it's a bad situation for everyone here. So, moving on to the next video here, we have It's Janky, the deserved end of FaZe Clan. So this is what I hope is gonna do is kind of like, do like a timeline of everything and how it came to like a collapse here. Maybe I should have watched this video first, honestly, but I just wanted to see Nadeshot's kind of opening remarks. And then I will end the video with FaZe Jev's video, or Jev, sorry, force of habit. Jev's video here. He looks like well, I think it's a joke in the beginning. He's playing Elden Ring right off the rip, but he talks about it, and whenever he stops talking about it, I'll probably cut to an end there. But let's watch this, the deserved end of FaZe Clan. I think this is hopefully going to put a timeline on the whole thing, and so we can all here understand what happened to FaZe.
Over the past few days, FaZe Clan has completely fallen apart. Not only has their reputation been completely destroyed by people like FaZe Banks, but all the most popular and oldest members have officially left the team, leaving the group with literally nobody.
Yeah,
it's hard to believe that the 2-year stream.
I had a question about this. Who here is like all OG FaZe members? I know Adapt. Look, Adapt was here since 2013. Oh my god, that felt like forever ago. And Apex was here since 2011. All these other people, like, look at this. Look at this. 1 year, 1 year, 1 year, 1 year. These motherfuckers haven't even been on FaZe for more than 3 years.
Members have officially.
Again, I don't blame them. Imagine you sign to a company and immediately they want 20% of your check. Fuck that. You know, like, I don't blame them, but it looks like they had at least, what, Apex and Adapt were on them, so 2 OG members, and they just headed out,
leaving the group with literally nobody. It's hard to believe that the 2-year streaming org of the year would fall apart as quickly as it did, with even Adapt, a 14-year member, officially leaving the team, which was surprising.
That's what shocked me, dude. When I heard Adapt left, I was like, oh my god, it is really over.
Surprising for not only new fans but also old ones. And this proves that there had to have been something seriously wrong with how FaZe was being ran to lead to the entire roster leaving. And it all stems back to Blackboy Max, the person who initially left New FaZe a few months ago. In this situation, most people thought that it was just an ego thing, as right as he left, he would move into his own house and begin creating content with the new group he formed. However, that assumption couldn't have been more wrong. Max would go live to explain his side of the story, and to expose the many reasons why he left the team.
Where I'm not even going to specifically name names, because if you was there, you was there. It's not the most big deal. But we had a sponsor for that day, and
I've seen so many clips of this popping up on Twitter and stuff. Like, it's this here. It's like Playboy Max in this like pink room talking about it. So I also watched live the whole FaZe kind of falling apart thing. I watched the Jinxie's point of view. You guys don't know, I like watching Jinxie a lot. And excuse me. And apparently there was a night called like game night. And from what I understand, there were a bunch of sponsorships lined up for this game night. And Jinxie was there, and FaZe, a lot of the FaZe members were there, and they were supposed to do these games that were sponsored by certain companies, and for some reason they didn't do them. And no one said why yet, I think because of an NDA. I think the FaZe member, from what I'm kind of picking up, a lot of the FaZe members just didn't want to do it. And they just backed out because they're FaZe members, and I don't know, maybe they're full of themselves. I don't know. But I don't know the truth yet, but I remember hearing about this, and I remember Jinxie saying that that night was really fucking weird. And because they had a whole bunch of sponsorships lined up, and they ended up like just not doing it. And obviously companies are going to get a little fucking upset about that.
niggas didn't end up doing the sponsor game night. Yes, if you was there, you was there.
I don't trust motherfuckers who got soundboards right next to them. Can I just say that? I don't trust them. It's okay, not trust, but I can't take them seriously. You know, like it's hard for me to take them seriously because the only other person I know who streams and has like a soundboard next to them is One Pixel, and he uses it just for shits and gigs. This motherfucker said, and they dropped all the sponsorship and then played an explosion sound effect. Like is it a bomb drop? I guess, right? I don't know. That's crazy though. It's just, for me, it kills the moment when I hear like someone hit a soundboard. You know, it's like
end up doing a sponsor game night. Yes, if he was there, he was there. Niggas didn't end up doing a sponsor. There was difficulties with the sponsor. Yeah. After that happened, according to the assistants and staff of the creators, they said that FaZe has pulled everybody for the rest of the month and sent niggas home early.
Jesus.
Right? This is the first time where in my head I went, how much control do we have here? And how much control do niggas have over us?
If I was a part of any company or working a contract or as a streamer, right, or whatever, if I got hired right now and someone like that, right, and someone told me to go home, I'd be like, fuck you. Who are you to tell me that shit? You know, I'm the fucking one doing the thing. So for a company to have so much control over its streamers to say, hey, you got to go home. You fucked up. Shame on you. I'd be like, fuck you. But apparently, whoever owned the company that owns FaZe, I guess, kind of had all them by the balls or something because they all went home, it sounds like.
There had been a rumor.
They said, get your ass home. You guys fucked up.
And how much control do niggas have over us?
There had been rumors spreading around that FaZe was trying to sign these creators to an 80-20 deal, which you'd think is something that they should have signed when they initially joined the team,
right?
Not after a year and a half of being
Little
in
heads
it.
up.
And especially after many of these creators have literally reached the highest point of their entire careers. And yes, they do get to live in luxury houses practically rent-free, get more brand deals and sponsorships, their collab streams paid for, and much more. However, they're making so much money, it's not even worth them staying on the team if now they're gonna have to give up a large percentage of their revenue.
Yeah,
and they're at the point
that,
where 20% of their revenue isn't just like $10,000 anymore, which is still a lot of money, but it's like $100,000 to $200,000 for most of them. All assuming that this rumor of them taking money from the members is actually true. Max would even state that they all signed documents whenever they joined FaZe, saying that there are certain things that they can't talk about. And I wouldn't be surprised if this entire theory is in the realm of possibilities.
Gang, you see that little
I don't really have much to say. I do want to pause eventually and take some time to reconcile. Just shady shit going on. You know, anytime it's like, because personally looking at like streaming and stuff like that, it's a business, and a lot of businesses, it gets dirty sometimes. You know, don't get me wrong, but not this dirty, not this shady. You know, and I mean, I have nothing else to say here. It just like looks like there's just some shady shit going on.
Wouldn't be surprised if this entire theory is in the realm of possibility.
Yeah, because imagine you signing on to FaZe, or me signing on to FaZe, and it's like, man, I get to play for the fucking dream clan of my entire life. You know, I grew up watching these guys, and then all of a sudden, this company who isn't even really FaZe members, it's not like Adapt or Jev or Apex is the one telling you. They're like, yeah, we want to take 20% of your revenue from streaming. It's like, whoa, who are you? Well, I'm the boss. We own FaZe, and we're taking 20% of your cut. It's like, damn, you know, fuck. That pissed me off.
Gang, you see that little townhouse? They trying to make that nigga pay 20 bands a month. What the fuck? Or give a percentage of myself. What the fuck? But Max is such a good nigga. He just, yo, bro, I just want to. And now niggas like Max look crazy, look like egoed out niggas. No, that shit not cool though. Like niggas taking shit on the chin, making him look like this nigga the ego monster. Niggas don't know the truth, bro. Niggas don't know the truth.
Free man, he's allowed to say whatever he wants as he feels. But as y'all know, I signed the FaZe in 2024, so at the end of the day, I signed papers. There's certain things I can and can't say.
Now this is
that shit pisses me off hearing that. You know, like I hate hearing that shit so much. It's like I signed papers and now I can't say shit. Now there's a muzzle on me.
At the end of the day, I signed papers. There's certain things I can and can't say.
now this
Like I just couldn't do that. You know, like well, I don't know. Someone swung a big paycheck in front of me. Maybe I changed my mind.
At the end of the day, I signed papers. there's certain things I can and can't say.
Now, this is one of the only things in this situation that I don't understand. Max is living in a giant mansion in LA, likely worth over $100,000 per month after things like utilities, water, electricity, Wi-Fi, all that. We have to keep in mind they're living in a content house as well, so shit's getting damaged all the fucking time. But going back to the main point, he has an entire guest house basically to himself. And also, with FaZe helping fund so much of his other content, mainly last content like the first FaZe subathon, I really don't think that it's that big of a deal for him to pay at least a little portion of the rent. And also, we all know he's definitely making enough to afford it. However, he ultimately...
Okay, I see what he's saying here now. So he's saying that they wanted Playboy Max to pay a fifth of the rent. And was he upset that the organization or the company couldn't pay it? That's what I'm kind of picking up right now. So interesting. Okay.
Decided the rent. And also, we all know he's definitely making enough to afford it. However, he ultimately decided to leave FaZe and go on his own solo journey, as we all know.
Is what made me realize it's time for me to man up. If I want to be what I one day want to be or plan on being, I gotta bet on myself, no matter what happens to me or what niggas might try to do. So out of these moments, I really questioned, and I think I made the decision, especially after this, where I'm like, bro, what am I gonna do here? I can't be here no more. And I honestly didn't think I was gonna leave as soon as I did, but it was on some shit like, bro, I gotta make this decision sooner or later, gang.
After Max left FaZe, everyone was saying how he was going to fall off. And I'm getting...
I wanted to say, at the end of the day, you know, like, it's your choice, dude. sorry, Jared. I didn't mean to jump scare you guys with that. At the end of the day, it's your choice. You know, if you want to leave, I don't think it should be like a big hoopla or anything like that. You know, it's at the end of the day, it's your choice if you want to leave a clan or not. From what I understand, you know, maybe he was signed on for like maybe a year, maybe, or something like that. But I don't get why so much like shit has to be thrown around because, oh, he left the clan. You know, it's like, I don't know. Maybe it's just different for me. People are gonna hate is one thing you gotta accept when you're on the internet. People are always gonna motherfucking hate. And yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, he just want to leave. You know, maybe he didn't expect to pay $20,000 on a house. You know, like $20,000 a month is a lot of fucking money. You know, you could buy your own home over the course of, I don't know, 6 months using that. Okay, wait, not in this economy. My bad. Anyways, $20,000 a month to rent somewhere is fucking crazy. And having to pay a fifth of that, or having to pay your due on that every month, it would catch me off guard, you know, and maybe he didn't sign up for that, and so he left, you know. And also, he talks about dreams and accomplishments and how he has to want to accomplish them when he leaves. And that is one of the hardest things you have to do, you know. Like, I don't mean to compare my situation to it, but I haven't been playing as much Street Fighter anymore because I want to go play other games. I want to beat them. I want to beat them on the hardest modes. I have dreams too, and I had to leave something. So I can kind of see from his point of view why he has to do that, you know. And then a day it's your choice. And I don't think, especially in this scenario, he should be judged so hard for it. And again, it's the internet. People are going to fucking hate.
Left FaZe, everyone was saying how he was going to fall off. And I'm gonna admit, even I would make some predictions on my videos related to that. However, the transition seemed to work better than anyone thought it would. Sure, right as he left FaZe, his viewers would dip significantly. However, they would jump right back up as time went on. And people's opinions on Max falling off completely switched up. Well, except for FaZe Banks.
I've been hearing a lot of bad stuff about this guy. Yeah, I've heard some pretty bad stuff about Banks. What was I gonna say? It's because people realize, you know, like at first it's like, oh, he left FaZe, I don't want to watch him anymore, right? And that's what a lot of people probably did. And then they realize that Blackboy Max isn't who he is because of FaZe. He's still Blackboy Max, just minus the 4 letters in front of the name, you know? All these people are still the same person they are, minus the 4 letters in front of the name now. And instead of having to do the whole, what's the FaZe symbol thing? Instead of having to do this for photo, I don't know, the FaZe symbol, I know it's something like this. I can't do it. They just go like this now. That's all you got to do. You know, and that's what changes, you know, and they're still who they are. And I have no doubt Blackboy Max had a whole bunch of people leave him after that. But they came back. They always come back. And it's because they realize, hey, this is still the same dude. He just doesn't have the 4 funny letters in front of his name.
After everyone falling off completely switched up. Well, except for FaZe Banks. After everyone left the team, Banks would be quick to throw himself in the conversation, making a tweet stating, "I have nothing to do with what's going on in FaZe Clan right now. I left 4 months ago and have moved on with my life. Unfortunate to see. Wishing everyone involved the best. If there's anything I can do to help, I'm here. No one loves FaZe more than me." And then he would make a video regarding the situation, talking about Max leaving and saying some pretty disgusting things about him.
I just watched.
I did hear about this, and I did see some of the things he said, or hear some of the things. They're kind of almost like out of pocket a little bit, like.
Talking about Max leaving and saying some pretty disgusting things about him.
I just watched some clips from this Black Boy Max stream where he's playing a laugh track over my tweet, and it's like.
This is what I mean by, like, if it's a serious fucking topic, don't use a soundboard. Put the soundboard away for 5 minutes. Like look at this guy's tweet. It's a laugh soundtrack. It's like, come on, you know, like, just how about we reasonably dissect the tweet here instead of playing a fucking laugh track over it. So I mean by, like, anytime I hear a laugh track, it's like, or like a soundboard, it just, like, if any other time, you know what I mean? Like, play it any other time, but, like, it's a serious moment right now, you know, like, we're talking about something very serious here. You don't need to, you could stop pressing the funny button for like 5 minutes. Anyways, it doesn't take away from the fact that what Banks here says is
leaving and saying some pretty disgusting things about him.
I just watched some clips from this Black Boy Max stream where he's playing a laugh track over my tweet, and it's like, Max, I know we've had like our individual differences, and I know I haven't really seen eye to eye with a lot of the talent because truthfully and honestly, I find you guys all to be incredibly ungrateful. I find you guys all to have insane egos, and I think it's disgusting and makes me sick to my stomach that your guys' relationships with each other and with every other streamer, and your community included, is so incredibly fake. You guys are the best actors on planet Earth, and you've made a complete career out of all of it. Max, these are your boys, but these are the same guys that said they fucking hated your guts after you left, and you know, you're the program and you have an ego the size, you think you're Travis Scott and this and that, and also like Max, multiple conversations about how Ron's content's cringe and you guys didn't fuck with the dad. None of you guys fucked with Lacey or Jason in the beginning. You guys didn't want these guys to live anywhere near you. You barely wanted to share a brand with them. But FaZe was gonna fund a Miami house for you, Rage, Silky, and Kason, so fuck it. We'll take what we can get. And then it all worked, and we forced this relationship. And I was called a fucking retard then, and I was told then I was ruining FaZe, and now 2 years later it wound up being the best thing that ever happened. So you understand why I'm sitting here and I'm frustrated.
Initially, he was
bro went off. That was a lot of pent up emotions I think Banks had there. I thought he was just gonna call out Max. He called out every fucking member of FaZe and called them ungrateful. Out of pocket, that shit, I think. Out of pocket.
The person basically glazing all the new members of FaZe whenever they first joined, all the way up until he ultimately left the team. Also
one thing I hate about kind of like the situations like this, I just wish I knew what was true and what wasn't. You know, because I think like if Blackboy Max and whoever else was hating on Jason and stuff like that. Which by the way, I've seen Jason and I think, was it Ronaldo too? He said, I can't remember. I wish if Blackboy Max and that other person said that they hated them, that's fucked up. Because, you know, with the whole Twitch streaming kind of scene, I think everyone should help everyone out. I think that you should be, you know, introducing your viewers to other people, you know, just in case when you're not on, maybe they like them too, you know, and they have someone else to watch. At the end of the day, when you stream, you're trying to make people's day a little bit better, make them happier, distract them, whatever it may be, you know. And having like-minded people do that is amazing. And what that requires is new people to come onto the scene. And as the person who's been there, and as the experienced one, you should be grateful that someone even wants to still do this. You should be grateful that they're choosing to try and stream, and show them, you know, the ropes, show them how it's done, show them how it's cool. To immediately be like, oh man, these seem like annoying little fuckers, I hate them, is like, Jesus, you know? Because like, I've seen Ronaldo streams, I've seen Jason streams. They just seem like young guys with a lot of heart, you know, and I hope it goes well for him, even after this whole fiasco.
Stating that he himself went into,
but I don't know if that's true. You know, like, this is Banks speaking here, and there's a lot of hate for Banks right now, so I don't even know if the stuff he said is true.
joined, all the way up until he ultimately left the team. Also stating that he himself went into debt after buying back FaZe and helping get it back on its feet.
I have never made not one singular dollar outside of my salary via FaZe. Not selling it, not buying it, raising money. I've just put myself further and further in debt. Yeah, I think FaZe to acquire and all the costs for these guys' careers over the last 2 years, I think ballpark 40 million bucks. And I think probably collectively these guys have had to have probably made like 20 million in the last 2 years collectively, I would guess. And not $1 of that 20 million has ever gone back to FaZe, never mind me. I would hope anyone watching could sit here and understand why I would be frustrated while a fucking entire hate mob is coming after me on fucking Christmas, my first Christmas without my mom, when all I've ever fucking wanted to do is help FaZe be successful. That's all I've ever wanted to do. That's the only intent. Where's the money? I'm this fucking guy who's trying to take everything from everybody. Where is it? Then why the fuck am I millions of dollars in debt?
Oh my God, me. Okay, so it sounds like to me, and I don't mean to be rude, you know, I'm sorry for your mom and everything like that. It sounds like you're trying to run a clan like Monopoly, which that's not a clan. I don't know where, I mean, I guess maybe it's different for me because, you know, growing up, FaZe was always a clan. You're a part of FaZe, you don't have to, I mean, it's nice to give back to it and stuff like that, but you're just, it's a clan. You're just good friends with everyone there. You're not business partners and you need to be giving your money to them, you know? I don't know. I kind of disagree with this take here from Banks, man. Like the fact that like, because if I signed up for FaZe, or I think, and if any of you guys did, you probably would think that like, you just get the cool name and you get to know cool people a part of FaZe. Not this whole like, okay, now there's this going on and you need to be meeting these business deals, doing this business. I'd be like, I don't want to be a part of this clan. You know what I mean? And I think Banks, and I think the problem with FaZe is I think a lot of those members needed to be informed when that this is no longer a clan, this is a business. This isn't a clan. The problem is they pitched up as a clan, and to me, it's always been a clan. And it seems like Banks here is going like the company business route, and maybe a lot of people weren't ready for that. You don't sign up for FaZe and expect to be doing sponsorships and all the other stuff. You just get the cool name. You were accepted into the clan because we see that your clips or whatever you may be, are worthy of us and welcome to our clan. It's an honor, you know. A lot of these people growing up, I think even was it Adapt? He always talks about Adapt always talks about, you know, watching old FaZe videos and staying home at school, faking sick to get better at Call of Duty so he can be a part of FaZe, you know. And he joined that to be a part of the clan, not to do business deals with like Tide or Coca-Cola or whatever their sponsorships are, you know. And it just sucks to hear Banks say this stuff like, I spent this much money, I never got a dime back. It's like, it's a fucking clan, dude. Like, I don't know. I don't want to dive too much deep into it. I don't want this video to be like an hour, but it just pisses me off hearing this because it sounds like at some point along the road, this is no longer a clan. This is a business.
Where is it? It's in Blackboy Max's bank account. It's in fucking Silky's bank account. It's in Jason, Ronaldo, Lacey's bank account. I wish this never happened. I wish that I never did any of this.
It's really sad to think, but at this point, it seemed like there was really no right or wrong side of the situation. The FaZe management were wrong, the owners were wrong, and the ex-members were also wrong. But it seemed like with these members...
I completely forgot about FaZe swag. Yeah, I still think the best way Nade Shot said it was just like, I don't think anyone here is like the bad guy. Like, I know we're kind of dogging on Banks and stuff like that, don't get me wrong, you know, but it's because I think he's had a couple bad takes, and we're all going to have a couple bad takes here and there. I think Nade Shot summed it up the best here. I think everyone is it's just a horrible situation. There is no bad guy. There is no good guy. Maybe the company could be the bad guy if you want to blame the man, the business, you know. But it's just a horrible situation.
We're wrong.
And it's sad to see it because it's it's FaZe, you know? And to me, it's like, fuck, that's FaZe.
It seemed like there was really no right or wrong side of the situation. The FaZe management were wrong, the owners were wrong, and the ex-members were also wrong. But it seemed like with these members leaving, the most probable reason was to protect their money, their careers, their brands, everything like that. Even though they obviously can't talk much about it, that was the most probable reason. But in any situation, whenever there's money involved, it's extremely hard to get out of it, especially when you've been a part of this group for over a year, building your careers with all of these people around you to a degree which you never even thought was possible. FaZe Rain would even make a story about the situation, taking Bank's side and hinting at the fact that even he knew the stuff that was going on with FaZe. One day you will realize everything on the internet is fake. The people fake, friendships fake, intentions fake, the stories fake, loyalty non-existent. I had a silver hope that there were some good ones out there when I realized that even the good ones were only good when they benefit. I knew I didn't belong in this industry and environment. On top of this, one of the stock owners of FaZe Clan and the co-founder of DraftKings, Matt Kalish, would state that the current structure of FaZe is unsustainable. He gave influencers who operated from a multi-million-dollar mansion the option to go independent or sign deals to Hardscope, which, if you guys don't know, is a massive content agency that will likely also take a large percentage of their revenue. And that was likely the deal that they were trying to get the FaZe members to sign under. Kalish would also state that my best guess is that they're all good kids and have a lot of people under their ear and are confused. He has put 10 million
because they don't know what the fuck they signed up for. They're, yeah, like I said, all these people here, they're kids with good hearts. They're young men with good hearts. And they sign these agreements because they think, oh, I get to be a part of FaZe. Like all of us would be. And then they get these motherfuckers in their ears saying like, hey, you got to do this business deal at 2 o'clock, so let's wrap this up. It's like, you know, it's like, fuck, dude. That's why they just seem confused. Like, yeah, no shit.
Have a lot of people under their ear and are confused. He has put $10 million into the group over the past 18 months. And if we're being honest, if they aren't taking any percentage of the revenue these creators signed under them are making, there's no way they're making any sort of profit whatsoever. So with FaZe essentially vanishing into thin air after they lost every creator they had, this would make many people wonder if the FaZe streaming group was planning on creating a new group under a different name.
Also, I need a confirmation on this in the comments or from someone. I think that stream was pre-recorded. I'm like 90% sure that stream was pre-recorded because the clip plays, and then I remember after that they all did like the whole walking out thing, and yeah. Here, hold on. Let me show. Let me pull this up real quick. Yeah, here we go.
Obviously.
Anyways, it's a whole like half-hour video, you know, whatever. But like you can see that they all like leave. They do like the little walkout here.
Yeah, a couple of us will go back, and that's kind of it. Thank you, guys. I'll be honest with you.
Anyways, Ronaldo, he cuts it out here, but they all like do a little walk-off, and then it cuts to just their streams at home. Because I don't think they're all in the same mansion or anything like that. Not anymore. I think they all met up at one place, recorded it, put it out on the live stream, and then cut to them at home. So that kind of caught me off guard. I wish I knew it was pre-recorded, but yeah.
Contracts or anything, just a group of friends making a fuck ton of money and great content. Many people no wonder if the FaZe
I just want to bring that up because I saw this
streaming group was planning on creating a new group under a different name. No contracts or anything, just a group of friends making a fuck ton of money and great content.
Obviously, I'm not in the loop, but if they're all saying they're leaving FaZe Clan, it got to be creating a new org, right? That's my brain is going immediately to that. Because why else would you use leaving FaZe Clan for? It got to be a new org.
Something.
So what I heard from like Ronaldo and Adapt, like all of them, and I think it was during that stream, that as of right now, they don't have a plan on making like a whole new clan. It's been talked about a lot that like, hey, they're all leaving at the same time. I bet they're gonna like make a group or something like that. It's been talked about a lot. I think Ronaldo or Adapt said that as of right now, there's no plans to.
Why else would you use leaving FaZe Clan for? It got to be a new org.
Something.
So like, why is it like when you leave FaZe Clan though? Why does it have to be like, oh, you guys are making a new organization? It's like, no, what if they just want to leave FaZe Clan and do their own thing, you know?
Why else would you use leaving FaZe Clan for, it gotta be a new org.
Something obviously happened.
obviously. Their thought was we're going to continue to be a group, but we're just going to start our own thing together without FaZe.
Even though it seemed like everything was over after this point, that couldn't be farther from the truth. Banks would post another video the very next day regarding
I think this is why people. I think this is why Banks is getting a lot of hate, because it's dying, right? People are finally starting to look away from it. Like, okay, poor FaZe. All right, we can call it here. We're sorry to hear. Oh, Banks just uploaded a video. All right, let's see what he has to say. It's like, I think that's why people are hating on Banks right now, is because this thing is starting to die out. People are starting to move on, and then Banks just has to say something.
Point that couldn't be farther from the truth. Banks would post another video the very next day regarding the situation, exposing text messages that Max sent him over the past year, and showing how Max wasn't only looking up to Banks as a mentor, but also constantly telling him the regret he had for leaving FaZe, which is extremely sad to hear considering what Max said about him in this video. And Banks would make it clear in his own video that this was taking a major toll on his mental health. Max would once again go on social media to make a post regarding the situation. I respected Banks, and after I left FaZe, Banks would call me and tell me I needed him and my career was falling off. He took advantage of the fact that I was depressed and in the hospital. At one point, I let all the calls get to me and I asked to rejoin FaZe. But I kept going, and in November, I was introduced to a manager who helped me realize that a lot of the things he told me were lies. And since leaving, I've worked on bigger guests and brands, and have a 2026 plan that is bigger than anything I've ever accomplished so far. However, it wouldn't only be Max trying to speak out against what Banks was saying about them. A few hours after this, all the ex-FaZe members would go live to talk about the situation, to express that what Banks was saying about them were complete lies, and that they were also planning on continuing to be a content group as predicted, just not under the FaZe name.
A week ago, we all stopped streaming during the last day of our marathon that we were doing. We didn't really, I know a lot of people thought, oh, we're trying to make this a joke or whatever. That's never been the thing. There's a lot of stuff that's happening. Obviously,
Off topic here, but if you ever want to know if someone's a gamer, you want to clock a motherfucker in the room that's a gamer, if you ever want to clock someone, watch what they're doing, just sitting. Because if they're just sitting there still, odds are they aren't. But if they're finicking, if they're playing with their hands, if they're rocking back and forth, if they're tapping their foot, they're a gamer. Because, constantly when you play video games and stuff like that, you're always engaged, you're always moving, you're always doing this. I remember a lot of times growing up, my dad used to tell me, Cruz, just sit there and stay still. And I would try my damnedest to sit there, but something would twitch in my body. Something would just move. I don't know what my problem was, but I think it was because I grew up playing video games and I couldn't hold still. I still think to this day I can't really hold still. And look at these guys. I think maybe they're also just. It also could be because they're nervous and they're tapping. Maybe they're like, oh my god, we're making this video. But it's just funny to me to see a group of gamers just look at them. They can't sit still.
Marathon that we were doing, we didn't really.
Jason's going like this,
thought, oh, we're trying to make
playing
this
with
a
his
joke
hands.
or whatever. That's never been the thing.
Adapt's got a toothpick.
Happening. Obviously, it was in our best intention to leave FaZe Clan. So all the speculations that oh, this is an announcement, or this is something that we planned. This was not planned, and this was just some things that we came to terms. And
I mean, everything that Ron said is true. The main thing I wanted to let y'all know is, cause seeing everyone leave online one by one, obviously it looks crazy, and you guys don't know a lot of what is happening behind the scenes. But what I can say, what I will add to that, is that nothing is going to change from the viewer's perspective, from the chat's perspective, with our dynamic. We are all still rocking with each other. We're all staying together. Me, Ron, Lacey, Jason, Silky, Kason, Rage, we're all still doing our thing collectively and working on our own thing moving forward, and still going to be a part of each other's content. It's not like everyone's going in over here and doing their solo thing, over here and doing their solo thing. We're all still doing what
that's fire. That's cool.
We were doing before.
I hope that's the case. I hope they all stay good friends.
Anymore, which it hurts. It hurts me, I think, a little bit more than everyone else, but I feel like it had to be done. It was too much of back and forth and too much stress over the months, a lot of things you guys don't know about, and I do think that this will be for the better, and that's really what it is. Yeah.
One of the biggest things that we wanted to make sure, adding on to adapt, it's kind of the same thing, but it's like nothing's changing. Like I know a lot of people made a lot of speculations. Okay, are they going to split? They all going to go on our solo, whatever it might be. Are they going to make another group? We don't have any plans on anything right now besides just staying together and just making content.
Overall, let me know what you guys.
Exactly what I said. They have no plans on forming like another clan or anything like that.
Anything right now besides just staying together and just making content.
Overall, let me know what you guys think about this situation. It really is sticky, and truly,
I don't know,
there's
man.
no right or wrong side to it. If anything, they're both wrong for certain reasons, and they're both right for certain reasons. But let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Like I said, I'm taking the FaZe boys side, also because Banks blocked my bitch ass on Twitter. Anyways, though.
Banks is public enemy #1 right now for a whole bunch of people. He said his bitch ass blocked me on Twitter.
Make sure to like and subscribe for more videos just like this.
This guy's
Thank
awesome.
you guys so much for watching. It's been your boy Janky, and I'm out.
Drop a like. That was an awesome video. Like and subscribe to Janky. Yeah, I don't know what else to say. We got one final kind of thing here to wrap up the whole thing here, and that's from I think the most influential or the most. Would I say popular content creator is probably Jev. If you guys don't know Jev, he has a whole bunch of old funny clips, you know, like why is it when I get flashed? You guys know that one. If you don't know, it's funny ass MW2 clips. I remember that map. He was playing MW2 on the map Dome, and then I think he's using a UMP45. That's how much I remember it. He's very well known for his rages and stuff like that, and it seems like in this video he's definitely going to tackle the topic. And again, be sure to go subscribe and like Jev. So it's just so crazy not to say FaZe Jev anymore. Jev, and see what he has to say.
All right, what's going on, guys? It's Jev back here over on some more Elden Ring. So in the last video,
Do I need to play Elden Ring, by the way? Off topic here. I've been thinking about it, but I think maybe I should play like the Dark Souls series before I do
my way through this Castle Ensis area. Got some more upgrades and stuff. I didn't play very long. I spent most of the video beating Rolana and then just like running around in circles over here to get the upgrades and stuff. Beat the Hippo, and now I'm over here in the Shadow Keep where Mesmer is. Gaius is in the back. The Flower over here is also in the back. There's a lot of bosses to do here. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. All right, what's going on, guys? It's Jeb. As you guys pretty much have seen, FaZe Clan is over. FaZe Clan ended. It's gone. It's done. So where to start? So on the 25th, all of the guys that were recruited for, I guess, like the new restructuring thing, I guess we could call it, they ended up dropping the majority of people, which I already made a whole video on that, and I felt a certain type of way, but I had hopes for like all the new guys and stuff like that. And I mean, ultimately, it seems like they've been very successful. From what I...
Yes, but play Dark Souls first at least. Yeah, so I'm down to do that, man. I'd love to play the Dark Souls series. It's one of those series I've been meaning to tackle for like the longest time.
I had hopes for like all the new guys and stuff like that, and I mean, ultimately, it seems like they've been very successful. From what I understand, everyone's popped off. So FaZe, as you know, the company and the logo and just the name in general, still does its thing. Back in the day when you joined FaZe, that was basically your ticket into turning this whole like internet thing, especially at that time, gaming-wise, into an actual career. And back in 2014, Apex ended up reaching out to me and gave me a chance and everything, and ever since that point, my life had changed. And over the years, as time went on, there's been a whole lot of different like iterations and versions of FaZe, and just the way that the internet is in general, the way content is, there's all sorts of different eras. It's not just the FaZe eras, it's like the internet eras as well.
And that's what I think was a little hard for me to keep up with. It was like, don't get me wrong, everything changes in your life, right? Things change. It's a natural part of life. Everyone, you know, it's inevitable. But it kind of caught me off guard a lot. Like, I remember the whole content creation side of FaZe and them dropping, like, Call of Duty. And that's where I kind of, like, stopped watching them. Don't get me wrong. I still like Rug. You know, I think Rug's cool. Jev's cool. All of them are really cool. But it was just, you know, it was just, like, it's just these little, like, they had to change with the times. And it caught me off guard, personally.
Things change, different areas, and just the way that the internet is in general, the way content is, there's all sorts of different eras. It's not just the FaZe eras, it's like the internet eras as well. And things change over that time, but for FaZe, it was always important for them to at least keep a hold of some people that still represented the original idea. So I always just, you know, stayed in the team, mostly out of respect for everybody, regardless of all like the controversies and whatever other crazy, stupid shit everybody's getting involved with. This is why I don't do any of this business stuff. I don't really give a fuck about none of that. It was always about game.
And that's why Jev's the fucking best. You know, like that's why he's like regarded as one of the best members, is because he doesn't do the business shit. You know, he just wears the name tag and he wears it proud and he plays games, you know? That's what I like about Jev. And I wish more of the FaZe members were like that. And I think most of them were until they went with this route, you know?
Shit everybody's getting involved with. This is why I don't do any of this business stuff. I don't really give a fuck about none of that. It was always about gaming in the end for me. So it was mostly out of respect for people like, especially Apex as well. Rain as well is another big, what I consider like a mentor. Now that said, just because I stayed in the team out of respect for them and everything, things got very messy there anyway though. Because it was never, eventually it got so weird and murky with people selling or stealing the company or whatever. I don't even understand, dude. I'm having journalists hit me up and shit asking me like, hey, is this accurate? Aren't you the fucking journalist? I have no idea. In this whole like YouTube space, like I got friends, but everybody knows, like anybody that knows me, they could probably say the same kind of situation. Like I'm not that close to a lot of people. I keep to myself. I do my own thing. I live my own life. And that was my goal at the end of this whole thing anyway, was to just do as much as I possibly could through gaming and gaming only. And that's it. So once all these bigger deals started coming in, content houses started getting made. I visited the FaZe house once, but everything was still like mainly gaming and stuff. There was like vlogging and stuff, but it was still based around gaming mostly. And then
Are you guys a big fan of like the content houses? You in the comment section, let me know or whatever. I've never seen them end well.
Like mainly gaming and stuff. There was like vlogging and stuff, but it was still based around gaming mostly. And then it veered like even further away from that, which is completely fine. But at that point, like I'm just not really, that's not really my space. I don't really care. So I've always been like at least arm's distance from virtually every single person in FaZe and anybody else. I mean, if it makes anyone feel any better, I do that with everybody. It's not specific to FaZe. I don't want to travel the world. I don't want to make like 5 million fucking friends. I don't want to make business partners and shit like that. I don't do business. I really don't. I got the one sponsor with G Fuel because I actually drink it, and past that, I really don't.
You know what I love about Jev? The motherfucker has a plan. You hear this motherfucker? He just rattled it all out. He said, you know what? I don't want to travel the world. I don't want to make 5 million friends. The only fucking sponsorship I have is G Fuel because I actually drink their shit. Like, I mean,
5 million fucking friends. I don't want to make business partners.
He has a plan,
and, shit
and he has a goal.
I don't do business. I really don't. I got the one sponsor with G Fuel because I actually drink it, and past that, I really don't look for anything else. Any sponsorship and business related stuff that I would take or undergo or create or something, I have no will to create anything. There's a whole lot of people that are telling me, oh, dude, just take over FaZe Clan and start recruiting people and turn the ship around and stuff. Dude, even if I could do that, I don't want to do that. I don't want to be a leader. I would genuinely, I'm not joking, I would rather be a part of a group and not be the leader and lose than be the leader and win. I don't want to lead. I don't want to lead so much so that I would rather lose under somebody else's leadership. Don't want to lead. Wow. I don't want to be responsible. I don't want to create something that other people could potentially depend on. I don't want to do it. I don't have the passion for that kind of thing. I got the passion for what it is that I do specifically, and that's it. So people are asking, am I leaving FaZe? Am I staying in FaZe? I didn't really know how to explain it, but you can't leave a team that is literally over. It's done. It's gone. You can't leave a team that doesn't exist. I'm making that sound like it's dramatic or like a bad thing.
That's real though.
In truth, of all the ways that this could have ended, it's not that bad. It's actually kind of perfect for a lot of the people here that are involved with FaZe, especially behind the scenes and stuff. It seems like a whole lot of people have a whole lot of like beef with each other, and money conversations and contract splits. By the way, I just have to note this here. Under the entire time that I was in FaZe, I'm like 99% positive I never even saw a contract anywhere. I never even saw a contract. I was never asked of anything or like a percentage of anything. This is also through all of the time of like them selling and like having like new leadership or whatever, whoever's owning it. I have never been approached by the original leaders. I've never been approached by the new owners of any of these with a contract. I have never been approached, period, about a contract. From the
I feel like Jeb is like the Switzerland of like the FaZe clan. He's just there. You know, like we don't attack him, we don't try and make war with him, we don't try and get him to do all this shit. He's just there, you know, he's just there to play games and promote the FaZe tag, and it's like the businesses are like cool, you know, it's promotion for us anyways.
I have never been approached by the original leaders. I've never been approached by the new owners of any of these with a contract. I have never been approached, period, about a contract. From the very beginning, it's no strings attached. The most organic membership you could possibly have. I didn't get signed to FaZe. I joined FaZe, and I stayed. That's it. I didn't get
Truth. Holy shit. Did you hear that? He said, I didn't sign up for FaZe. I joined FaZe. That's an excellent way to put that.
Contract. From the very beginning, it's no strings attached. The most organic membership you could possibly have. I didn't get signed to FaZe. I joined FaZe. And I stayed. That's it. I didn't get signed to shit. A lot of people go and look at these organizations like they're getting signed to like some sort of NFL team or some shit like that. You guys look at this space like it's way more professional than it actually is. I don't think you guys recognize, well, maybe you will, how shitty this entire like esports / organizational stuff is. It is messy as fuck, and most.
That's what I think we were talking about earlier, and you guys can tell me how you feel about this. Has competitive like killed gaming? Or not killed gaming, but like has it hindered it maybe a little bit? Because like the whole business side of like esports and the stuff that goes on around that scene, it's not talked about enough, you know, like it brings like a whole other aspect to gaming.
Professional than it actually is. I don't think you guys recognize, well, maybe you will, how shitty this entire like esports / organizational stuff is. It is messy as fuck, and most of it was ran by literal kids back in the day. People have no idea what the fuck they're doing, and I'm not just talking about FaZe either. FaZe's reputation has been in the gutter for I don't even know how long. I was on like an upward trajectory as is already, and Apex found me, saw me, kept an eye on me, and eventually ended up recruiting me to the team, which sent my momentum into a whole other stratosphere at the time. And now today I have over 5 million subscribers. I can go and post and upload anything and everything that I want. I've uploaded over 4,000 videos, hundreds well before I even joined FaZe. I could say without a doubt, like I am in just such a good headspace, just healthy. I have a really good way of like reframing it and stuff. And over the years, I'm happy it's taken this long to really get here, because I'm not really sure how I would have handled it, you know, a few years back or whatever. But I think that
if you make a YouTube channel and you start posting content creation, right? And it, boom, blows up in like a month, right? Boom, all of a sudden you got like 2 million subscribers, you're on the height of your career. You will never take that time to appreciate it though. You don't, like Jev is talking about here, he said, I posted hundreds of videos before I was even a part of FaZe. When you know what it's like to be posting and not have that. And you're grateful for the spot you are. Now imagine you didn't have any of that. You think that's normal. You're not able to look back and recognize the fact that like, oh, hey, look how far I've come. It's like, I hope you guys get what I mean. I don't want to like philosophy it or anything like that. But Jeb makes a very good point here. He's done this for a long time. He's happy because he's been doing it for a long time. He's finally at a point where he's happy doing that.
I'm really sure how I would have handled it, you know, a few years back or whatever. But I think that ending like this, I think this is one of the cleanest ways possible. You know, wipe our hands clean of this whole thing. Here's to the future, you know? That said, all that's basically going to change on my channel is a grand total of 2 things. My name on YouTube and my bio on Twitter. And I think that's it. So all I'm going to do is change 2 things on the channel.
Hard as hell.
Nothing in the content is changing whatsoever. A lot of people already say they don't consider me a part of FaZe or whatever, blah, blah, blah. But regardless, overall, FaZe means a lot of different things to a whole lot of different people. And maybe some people are just going to tune out whenever they hear that. They don't really know what that means. But the idea of FaZe to me had a lot more to do with like the original gaming stuff and the entire like culture around that. All the flexing and shit, regardless of how much money I've made over the years, has never really been my thing. I understand that that's like super entertaining for a whole lot of other people and that's what FaZe is to them, but for me, that's not really what it was. So everybody's got their different ideas of FaZe, but I just want to thank every single person in FaZe throughout all the years, whether we interacted a lot or didn't. I'm proud of you guys. Those of you I remember, those of you who I don't, those of you who I don't even know if you were ever in the team or not, I don't even know. I've been distant for so long. I mean, I paid attention to it. No, I still know generally what's going on. I'm on the internet all the time. It's not like, you know, I'm sitting around on some boat or some shit. I'm sitting here gaming and I'm on the internet. I see it. I know. You know, I've talked to Apex. I've talked to Rain. I've talked to other people in the team, Scope as well. Yeah, it seems like everybody is just ready. So that's me touching on the FaZe thing. I don't have any tea. I'm not throwing anybody under the bus. I ain't saying no names, none of that shit. I don't know anybody. I can't speak on none of that. I just hope the best for all of you, and a lot of you guys managed to get out of all that evil ass money shit, because that shit is poison, man. Genuinely it is. Now watch me absolutely slam Mesmer in this boss fight.
I'm not gonna watch this, but I want to save it whenever I play Elden Ring. But yeah, I mean, it's Jeff. You know, Jeff, he came out here, he spoke the truth, he said what he had to say, and it was all correct, you know, and he made some very good points. And it's just sad, you know, for me personally. You know, growing up, I watched a lot of FaZe, and especially around that Black Ops 2 time, and it's just sad to see all of it, you know, kind of come crashing to an end because of money. But that's just what happens. And I'm grateful, and thank you guys so much over at FaZe. You guys did an awesome job. You guys had a good long run, and I hope all the good and the best for you for all your future endeavors, and I hope you guys thrive and grow. And I hope you guys know you guys don't need those fancy 4 letters in front of your name to be who you are. So, yeah, that's my whole opinion. And be sure to leave a like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video, and check out the original videos in the description. And yeah.